Welcome to the weekly challenge, where I challenge you to sharpen your skill and prove what you can do. But first, I have a question for you. What do Tiger Woods, LeBron James, and Cristiano Ronaldo have in common besides being great at what they do? The answer is they all practice their sport. Before they do something that they're one of the best in the world at doing, they practice the basics. Now, why is that? It's because even the greatest in their field knows that it takes constant practice to stay sharp for game day. I want you to stay sharp for your game day, whether it's your job or training. So I developed this weekly challenge series. Now this week, I'm going to challenge you to sort and add to lists. That seems simple, but I think it'll be a little bit more challenging than you think it is. Now I'll explain more about that and the bonus challenge in a minute. But first, in case you don't know me, my name is Tim Corey, and it's my goal to make learning C# easier. If you want to become a better C# developer, this is the place to be. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to get alerted whenever a new video comes out. I release new videos every Monday and Thursday, and sometimes I'll even throw in a bonus video during the week. Now, this week's challenge includes starter source code. So follow the link in the description to go to the challenge page. You can also download the challenge video and the instructions there as well. Now, if you get stuck, that's the place where you can sign up for the solution as well. For a monthly fee, you can get access to every challenge I've ever issued, and you can cancel at any time. Okay, so the goal of this challenge is to use the provided project to complete the 4 methods in the standard challenge section. Okay, so I provided 4 methods for you, and I'll show you those in just a minute. Now, you need to insert records and sort the given lists. So that's kind of what you're going to do inside those 4 methods. Now, the bonus challenge, before you actually see the code, the bonus challenge is to complete the 4 bonus challenge methods. And they're pretty similar to the main standard challenge methods, except that they work on existing lists instead of new lists. Meaning you're not going to create a new list and return that new list. You'll work on the existing list to do some of the same things. Okay, so let's look at the starter code. So this is what it's going to look like. Now, this is a .NET Core console application. I did this because I think that this is the way you should move forward with .NET. So if you're going to start a new project, try and do it in .NET Core. Now, if it's a desktop application, it's still going to be, for now, .NET Framework until .NET Core 3.0 comes out. And then at that point, we'll be doing our WPF and WinForm applications even in .NET Core. So with this, we're going to do .NET Core. If you're not familiar with .NET Core, don't worry. The only really change that you'd even notice in .NET Core versus .NET Framework is that, at least for a console application, is that your app.config is no longer here. Okay, that's all there is. You're not going to need it, so don't worry about it. Okay, so we got this static void main, which I've got a comment up here that says, do not modify this method. And the reason why is because this static void main is kind of like a test-driven development container. Now, it's not a separate project. It's not a true like X unit or N unit or something like that. It's just my version of test-driven development. I didn't want to create all that overhead for what really is a sample project. But what I did was I created some methods that test the methods that you're going to modify. And so right now, all those tests fail. And what you'll be able to do is when you modify a method, you can run the application and make sure it passes. And if it passes, then you completed that method's request. If it doesn't pass, then you did something incorrect and it's not returning what it expects you to return. Okay? So don't modify main. Also, main uses this helper method down here, create sample lists, which just creates a list of people, and it's in a specific order, it's a specific names, and it knows all this information, so it uses it every time, and so it knows, okay, this is what I expect the results to be. So don't modify this either. If you put your own names in here, it'll cause some problems with the testing. So leave that alone. What you want to modify is inside these two regions. The first one is the standard challenges. And here's the 4 standard challenges. Now, I've tried to be pretty clear with the naming here. That's why they're really kind of long. Insert record last into new list. What that means is, I have it to do down here, add a record to the end of the incoming list and return the new list that includes that new person object. So I've created the output for you. This is the input. What I want you to do is in the output, have everything from the input plus that new person at the end. And just return that output. Now, right here, I said this is a hack. And the reason why is because if I didn't have this line, then it would fail the application. It would say that this does not return a valid list because this is not initialized. So I just assigned it initially. I said people equals output, or output equals people. So sort ascending by full name and return the new list. Okay, so it passes in people. You're going to put it into output and have output sorted by last name. By full name, and make sure that sort is ascending. So that's all there is for the standard challenge. Now, the bonus challenge is basically the same 4 methods, only instead of returning a new list of person, you're going to modify the existing list, not return a new list. Okay, so make the same modifications, but on the existing list, not the new one. Okay? So some of those might be really easy, especially after you do them once, because they might be very, very similar in how you do them the second time. But that's okay. The goal here is to just stretch your knowledge of what you can do with lists, because lists are very important in C#. This is what we use for all of our data. You bring a data in from a database, you put it into a list of T, and you start working with it. Well, that working with it should include sorting, inserting, maybe even removing, and maybe filtering as well. So I've tried to push you in a couple of areas when it comes to lists. Hopefully this kind of practices some of the things you already know, and also stretches you in some areas that you might not know. Okay? So you got it? I hope so. Good luck and happy coding.